A Plague Tale. Quite honestly, a game that I would say is a very, very welcome
We can't
surprise
cross there.
this
That bridge was
generation.
at least a century old.
Taking place in France during the
Everything
Black
looks
Plague in the
completely destroyed.
1300s, you
Like
play
the end of
as
the old world.
Amicia,
If that's
who
true, how
ventures
come you're so
out to
calm?
keep her
Look,
brother
the
safe
stand
and
of the
to cure
Inquisition.
him of an
He's still there?
illness,
Let's be careful.
while fending off hordes of rats that are infested with the Black
Don't
Plague,
fall.
as well
Don't
as
fall.
people trying to hunt you down and capture your brother at all costs. Along the way, Amicia meets a cast of different characters,
Lucas.
mostly children, who
What's the matter with
help
them?
her through her journey.
But I don't like it. Let's
And
get out of here.
as you can see, the game is very, very dark. It's beautifully done, with a very well done score as well as gameplay to boot. If you guys have ever played the game Last of Us, I have to say this game reminds me of Last of Us and is very comparable to that game as well. Honestly, I am very, very thankful that I was able to play this game. It's amazing. It really is. There's a very, very noticeable stealth. How can I put this? A very noticeable stealth mechanic to the game that you, as a child, you're basically trying to escape nights. And one of the things that makes this so great is the fact that they bring apart, or bring, not apart, but they bring in the humanity of the characters, especially Amicia. Most games, you're playing as a character who they've seen war, they've seen battles, they understand the way things are. And Amicia is a child. She is being thrust into this world that everything's been taken from her. And on top of that, the first time that as Amicia you have to kill somebody, it affects her. And as the game continues through, it does continue to affect her, which is something that you don't see in most games. Like another example that I've mentioned already, but I'm going to mention it again. Last of Us. In Last of Us, you play as Joel, who is not a good guy. And it's made very clear that he's seen battle, he's seen conflict, and he's become battle hardened because of it. So as you progress through Last of Us, it's not uncommon for Joel to just go ahead and kill people. Like, he doesn't show any remorse in doing so. And because of that, it's very hard to relate to him in that kind of aspect. Where Amicia, because she's not battle hardened, because she's not used to fighting people and killing people, it shows. And as you progress through the game, as I stated, she shows remorse for it, which I absolutely love. Another thing that I want to mention too is, look at all these rats that's on the screen right now. In most games, having this many objects on screen would in fact show frame rate reduction. This game doesn't do it. Now, I'm not going to say that it's perfect, because there are some situations where the frame rates do drop, which it's rather unfortunate, but it's not often that it happens. And when it does happen, you know, like I said, it's kind of whatever. It's not that big a deal. One of the things that I gotta praise it for is the music. The music is absolutely beautiful. I love it to death. It's great. And so much so that I had to go ahead and contact the developers on Twitter and ask them, where can I get this soundtrack for this game? Which then they went ahead and told me where I can purchase it, and that it's also available on Spotify, to which I went ahead and added the playlist on my own Spotify, because I love the soundtrack that much. The graphics are gorgeous. One thing that I do need to mention is there's no cutscenes, or no conventional cutscenes. There are cutscenes in the fact that, you know, it cuts over to whatever story element there is at the moment. But in regards to that, there's no cutscenes in the older sense of in the older sense that, oh, we're gonna show like a movie scene. They don't do that in this game, which is fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. You know, especially considering that it helps to keep the fluidity of the game going, which is fantastic. I do want to say though, like I said, every once in a while there will be a hiccup with the frame rates. Usually when it gets to like a close-up of the character, not so much when there's a bunch of objects on the screen, which is, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's noticeable, but it doesn't bother me. Other than that, the story is fantastic. It made me fall in love with the characters almost immediately. It thrusts you into a high-paced, I want to say like action, but not really like 100% action-based, because it's not an action-based game. While there are action aspects to it, there's more stealth, there's more puzzle solving, which I'm all for. I love puzzle solving in video games. I absolutely do. It reminds me of old Resident Evil games, having to solve the puzzles and make it through situations such as what you're seeing on screen, where there's a bunch of rats and you need to figure out how to get through them. The game on normal mode is actually pretty challenging. I'm actually going to play the hard mode, but on normal mode it is very challenging. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it's not. As you progress through the game, you unlock various weapons and items for you to collect. You can upgrade your arsenal or weapons. I mean, technically you only have one real weapon, which is your sling, but you can upgrade it to throw faster, load faster, be more silent, so that way people don't detect you. And you know, and it upgrades. The upgrading system is very similar to Last of Us, which is one of the reasons why I keep comparing it to Last of Us, because it's very easy to do so. But I feel like it's a fair comparison because of the way that the game plays. Most of the time, you're playing as Amicia and you have a partner character, whether it be Hugo, who's her brother, whether it be Lucas, who's an alchemist, whether it be Millie, who is like an assassin thief kind of character. There's various characters that help you throughout the game, and it's amazing. I absolutely love this game, and if I'm gonna rate it, I'm easily gonna give it a 9 out of 10. And the only reason why I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is because of the way that the frame rates go, and there's a couple of things here and there with the camera movements that just kind of bugs out a little bit, but not like in a whole 100% way. And I'm gonna skip this because I don't want to ruin the story for anybody, but it's very, very well done. I absolutely love this game. I can't stop playing it, and honestly, if the developers watch this game, I need a sequel, like now. There's so much story that is left open or up in the air that I need more. You need to give us more. So hopefully we see a sequel. If you guys have not picked this game up, pick it up. It's available like on the PS4 as I'm playing it right now. It's available on Steam and I believe Xbox. Hopefully you guys who do pick it up, you enjoy it as much as I have. I've played it already on stream, start to finish. I'll be playing it some more. It's a decently long game, sitting around 10 to 13 hours of gameplay, similar to Last of Us. Plenty of replay value because there's a lot of collection stuff to get, and there's a lot of a lot of difficulty to go through, especially if you're playing on harder modes. So with that, hopefully you enjoyed this review. Like I said, I enjoy playing this game. I'm gonna keep playing this game. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and if you have picked it up and you have played it, let me know what you guys thought of the game. Did you enjoy it? Are there any things that kind of bothered you a little bit? Are there things that you would have liked to have seen be told a little bit more in the story? Do you want a sequel? that is like, for me, I want a sequel now. Give me that sequel. Okay, so if you guys hear me, if the developers are watching this, give me a sequel. Anyways, guys, I will catch you all later. You guys have a great rest of your day. And this is what happens when you drop the torch.